they're just generally hooks just to get your attention. We'll go through that. Let's talk about what's really on my mind. And San Jose company takes VTA to court over eminent domain. This one kind of hits a little bit close to home because as a kid, I go a little bit deep into this. Monarch Truck Rental, if you see right there, it's just for industrial truck rentals. So if you like moving trucks, that type of thing, but it's more for business to business. You don't really do the U-Haul business. So they've been around since I was a kid, and my dad used to work next door. So if you want to take a look, this is Monarch Truck Rental right here. It's where they fix and rent and do all the rental stuff. And this used to be Security Contractor Services, and I think they closed down. He's long retired, and it was for fencing products, chain link fence parts, and from the little 1-inch tube to 5-inch, 6-inch tube. But anyway, eminent domain, it's the government's legal authority to be able to take over any property that they want, as long as they do it legally and they do their due process, and they give you enough time. And you do have to agree to it, but there's a certain point where they can take it over whether they need it, whether you want to or not as a homeowner or a property owner. That's what's happening here. So Monarch Truck Center or Monarch, whoever, the parent company is suing the government saying, no, that's not fair. We've had this place here forever. People know where we are, and people who use us will be confused. And what's happening is VTA, Valley Transit Authority, is putting the light rail through there off of 101, and they're expanding the track. So if you see, that's 101 right there, and this will be a big, huge stop area. So Monarch Truck Center President Nicole Gutters, the company's new location at Timothy Drive is not big enough to accommodate her company's operations. Here's the other thing that sucks. If they own that property, they're paying property tax from 30, 40, 50 years ago, which means that they're probably paying taxes on, I don't know, maybe $200,000, and now it's worth $2 million. Their property taxes are going to go up. And while I understand that the government has to do what they have to do to expand the community, the business owners get screwed because of property tax assessments. So if I were to agree to something like that, I would be like, yeah, you can do that. However, I don't want my property taxes to change at all. And they can use the Proposition 19, et cetera, to do it, but that would be my legal fight. That would be my thing that I fall down on. House set up and ready to sell, except now there's apparently a foundation issue, according to the inspector. What do you do? And it might be like $100,000. Guess whether it's false or not, whether you get a second opinion or not, you still have to disclose. This is in Oakland, California, one of the most litigious states in the world, in the US. Yes, never fall for the first quote and get a different inspector. House can be listed and foundation issues will need to be disclosed. Absolutely. You're always going to have to disclose it. And that sucks. It sucks for you, but you probably knew it going into it, saying that there could be foundation issues, or the seller knew when you bought it and they didn't disclose it. And if you can prove it, then you have 4 years from the day you can prove it to sue them. It's not legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. Foundation repair in California is going to be hugely because everyone comes with the aspect of liability. And yeah, sucks. It super sucks. And if you have foundation issues, you're probably better off just paying it, getting it done. Because if you don't disclose it or you hide it and tuck it away, you're subject to massive lawsuits. And if I were told by a seller to not tell you as a buyer anything about that, I would fire you right away. And it just goes with the disclosure law. You have a duty to disclose everything that's material to the transaction, including foundation issues. All right, 40 days on market. Cupertino Drive, not my listing, 48 days. It's by Santa Teresa School. Where is Santa Teresa Boulevard? Santa Teresa Elementary. Okay. That's Santa Teresa Elementary. And the DMV is over here. Costco, the new Costco is over here, that kind of thing. Why is it not sold? $1.6 million for a house. This area probably is not attracting that kind of business. Maybe you're over the flight path. Maybe you can hear the train. Let's take a look inside and see what's going on with this. Cupertino Drive. Now, look, this is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,400 square feet for 1.6. Probably should have listed it at 1.4 to see where the market's going. Yeah. I have a house listed that's a 3-bedroom around 1,557. It has a pool, doesn't have air conditioning. This thing's brand spanking new everything. It should be. It has a swamp cooler. That's why. Yeah. And look, thank you, agent, for putting the floor plan out there. Let's take a look at cooling, see what it says. Cooling none, central forced air. That means that swamp cooler doesn't work. Do houses sell without Air conditioning, yes, but it's not required. It just people are willing to pay more for it. And the last house I sold was like a $200,000 difference. It doesn't mean anything. There's no corollary just to the AC. Typically, if you have AC in your house is either newer or more upgraded, or you've been maintaining it well. So it's more like a rule of thumb, something to check out. All right, this is 90 days on market, list price decrease. Cupertino, $1.7 million, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, $1.7 million. Look at this. It was built in 1985, 1,200 square feet. Let's see, original list price was $1.9 million, and it's right off the freeway, right off at 85. Oh, this is right by Pauline Imp. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, on market for 158 days. If you want a 2-bedroom house, did we look at this floor plan? Does this have a floor plan? I don't care what it looks like inside. It's overpriced, obviously, and it's been flipped. But look, original bathroom. They might have put a counter on it. Santa Rosa Drive, $5.5 million. This is a bank-owned Santa Rosa Drive, not my listing, $5.5 million. 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 5,800 square feet, 1.27 acres, and it's been on market for 136 days. It's in the fire, so I can tell you straight up. It's a beautiful house. It's got a lot of potential, not for $5.5 million. How long did I say? 136 days. Yeah, go in there with $2 million, see what happens. You know, here's the thing. It's the 30th of March. You got a lot of potential in this one. You have nothing to lose. All right. And then 40 days on market, 90 days on market. We're looking at that. Nothing's hockey pucking. I mean, the 40 days on market are going back up, but that's typical because inventory is going up as well. So it's not crazy. It doesn't scare me at all. Yesterday or Monday, we talked about pacing. We're at 5,500 pacing for all of 2026, whereas 2025 we sold almost 8,000. 2024 we sold over 8,000. And the pacing is where we are right now. We're 3 months into the year. This could absolutely change, right? So what it does, it takes the number of new listings year to date, divides it by the week, and then multiplies it by the number of weeks in a year, 52. So there you go. We're on pace to be about 70% of where we need. And that's it. Put your home in front of every interested buyer again and again until they act. Okay, so we do something where when we find out that you looked at this specific house and we drop a cookie on that user, and we keep pushing it back to them and back to them. So they see this house over and over and over again. And the reason why that happens is it's advertising 101, not marketing 101. Back in the 50s, it took an average of 13 touches for a buyer to act on whatever product they wanted. So with this, I can be everywhere that your potential buyers are with home